Alright, welcome back to another league race. This time we're with TMC, and this time we are at the Bahrain circuit for round number 2. So, after I say disappointing result last time out in Australia, I thought I was capable of more. I was looking forward to this one now, I have to say. I think there are some good opportunities to be had here. So, just load the setup in. Obviously, it's Bahrain, it's not going to be raining, so no worries about that. I want to do a run on the mediums first, just to get my eye in. Didn't want to dawdle about too much on the super softs. I want to just try and qualify in the harder tyre if I could, and go from there. So that's kind of where things are starting for this one. We're going to start in the mediums, then a set of softs, and then see what the time is like for a set of supers at the end. So that's what the plan is for this one. And you're doing our first lap here, and on the mediums, so grip was obviously a bit limited, to say the least. So anyways, last corner, get a bit up on the curb, not exactly what you want. I was going to do a couple of laps on these mediums, so kind of, because obviously the first lap was going to be fairly slow, so do a 28.2 on that opening lap, and then last corner again, going to improve on this lap. It was all in the last corner basically is where all this time came up, so making up the mistake I made in the first one, but there you go, across the line it's a 28 flat, so not the worst time in the world on mediums, but obviously not what we're going to be qualifying on. So, but just to get my eye in, get a few laps under my belt, get a few of the nerves out the way, and see how it go from there. So anyways, going back into the pits now, onto a set of softs, and seeing how the pace is looking from there. So yeah, that's basically the plan. Not too sure why I left this much clip in, but alas, just selecting the softs and getting ready then for the second run. If I can get myself inside the top 10 with these, that'd be great. Just look at the times here, see kind of what's being laid down at the moment. So you see, say P11 and say medium is not too bad, could be worse, but obviously those times are only going to improve, and so I'm going to fall further and further. And yeah, that's why we have to go out on the softs and see what we can do. And here is this lap on the softs. Coming across the line. Actually, the first lap was really bad, so I actually put that into medium deployment and the such for the first lap because it was going to be barely an improvement. And this was my start. This is my actual best lap of these softs, and so coming across the line, we had a much better lap. Good last corner there as well, and we're going to improve by a significant amount, and we're going to do a 27.1 on the softs, which is actually not a bad time at all, to be fair. In most leagues, that would easily get you a top 10 slot on the softs, but not in TMC. But anyways, live right
stay in these. In the pits right now.
I would stay in them softs, Graham.
I'm in,
Yeah.
inside the top 10.
Unless you think you can gain a second.
Unless you think you can get teching, Graham.
What's the gap separating between me and say 8th or 7th?
4 tenths.
5 tenths.
5 tenths, right? I'll go out on these supers, see how quick I can go, and then if I'm not within that range, then I'll back out.
Yeah. Yeah, let you know the delta.
When you're ready, let's go.
You can gain 6 tenths, it could put you into 6th.
So that was a kind of dilemma that was going on. So here is this final lap then on those supers. I was going to try and go for it and see how much I can improve by, but a terrible entry into this corner, understeer a bit wide, and then get all up on the curb, and that just launches me off the track, and that's it. It's for qualifying. So it's going to be P12 for the race, and that's our starting point. Look, not the end of the world that I didn't improve on that soft time, but there you go then. Starting from P12, so actually you can see like a very good turnout. So, and of course, Gamer Paco's got a qualifying band. So, look, I knew I had good pace in me. My qualifying lap, just like it was in Australia, it wasn't fully reflective of what I could do at this track. So, I knew there was opportunities ahead in this race. One stop strategy. Excuse me. That is the name of the game here today. And yeah, see how we do on that. So anyways, forming up on the formation lap. Tekken is in front of me, and Tekken's someone I want to get by as quickly as possible. I know from experience watching and first hand in Australia how difficult he is to get by. So I want to be ahead of him if possible. So
Cloudy or check it.
a good start is really important in achieving that goal. But let's see what we can do from P12 then, as the lights begin to finally light up, and then out again for the start of this race. Looks like a decent start. Again, quite quickly getting up on Kevin in ahead. And think about going to move down the inside, but I just want to take it very, very cautiously to turn one. It's very early on the brakes. There's going to be a spinner in front. I think Wislik turns around. Bugatti trying to avoid all that off the throttle a bit. This allowed Tekken just to drive right through, but I have to get off the throttle a bit. And I remain, actually gain a place in the end into P11 and behind Wislik here. So Tekken actually benefited really nicely from being on the different line compared to me. And then because I was on the inside line, had to back out and avoid the carnage, and that allowed Tekken just to drive through, and he's up into P9 I believe, or P8. I think it's P9. So as he tries to make a move there, his teammates there as well, so we're just sticking behind Wislig here, who's on the super softs. His teammate Kevin's in front of him, and we're just trying to navigate carefully now through this first lap. As you see, someone goes wide behind. I think it's Extrema goes wide behind, so Extrema on the soft as well. He'll be in a factor in this opening stint. We're just trying to maintain P11 and just being careful as to not run to the back. I think the worst of it now has passed. Once you get through sector 2, basically, you are pretty much safe in terms of possible damage on lap 1, especially at this stage. For me, like, I'm safe here. And look, you see actually Kevin lets go. He lets Wislig go, and see Kevin's on the softs. He qualified on those softs in the top 10. He's let Wislig go on the supers. So he tried to get that move done in a hurry, so he wouldn't let me back through. So that's where we are anyways to begin this race. And there we go. P2 into P10 as a Mark man had to pit. Lap 2, Wislig gets a little bit of a twitch, and Kevin, I think, is trying to let him through as well, so it's difficult. And then Kevin, very late, cuts right back, crosses the racing line, so that's a little risky. And Extrema makes contact with me from the back, but thankfully didn't get sent into a spin, as fastest laps are now being set. Lap 3, I'm trying to defend now from Extrema. I've got rich mixture, high deployment. I take a defensive line. Extrema on the inside. I have a racing line, but he makes contact with me, and that upsets my rear, and he pops through, and I was not happy with that at that point in the race, because he's literally just bullied me out the way, basically pushed me out the way to gain a position. But anyways, we are now behind Extrema in P11 now, and so frustrating, but I was hoping, like, okay, maybe he could just drive on and he will get past those cars and not hold me up too much, and maybe create something in there as well. We can see now actually a bit of a train begin to emerge, and surprise of surprises, Tekken is at the front of it. There's Tekken, the 2 Red Bulls, and then Extrema, and you can see the kind of the rest of the field beginning to drive away just a little bit. You can see I think that's a Williams in front of the Renault, Anthony as well, I think. And yeah, so that's where this race is now, and then Tekken's actually falling behind all of these guys now, and now he's just behind me, but because he's got a lot of straight line speed and he's in the DRS of Extrema, you know, there's literally nothing I can do about this being stuck behind him. As those two fight and scrap, I have to be careful as to not run into the back of them. So you get get close, but again, I'm just not close enough by the end of turn 3 up the hill to get close. You can see the gaps now. You can see the Red Bulls getting to go away a bit now. Both of them dispatch Tekken, and they're driving up the road a bit, and like, I didn't want them to get too far. At this point, I'm considering, when can I pit, because there's quite a number of cars behind me as well. I don't know if you can see it on the map, but a lot of cars behind, and I'm wanting out of this. I wanted absolutely out of this. And lap 7, bit too early to pit yet though, and again the high mixture, rich mixture, high deployment. Again, just nothing I could do on the straights against Tekken. Nothing I could do, but we got a couple of pitters now in this lap. That is important to make note of. Afrifish is one of them, I believe. Medium Pilot as well. So these are important ones to keep an eye on, because they will be coming back into our race a bit later on. You can see a bit of a dive over behind this RWR, or RW makes a move there. Lap 8, I've had enough. I'm sick of sticking behind these guys. I'm going for the undercut. I knew from this point a set of mediums will go to the end, so unfortunately the soft stint hasn't worked out, but because I'm on the soft side, the flexibility to choose when they come in, and I chose that I was sick of staying behind Extrema and Tekken, and I was going to try and undercut my way ahead of them. So that was the idea, and set mediums to the end now. Here we go, in 14th, and Afri's just going to pop out in front, and I think I'm just going to nip ahead of Anthony for 15th. So we saw Afri pitch a few laps ago, and now we've just joined out behind him. So interested to see now if he can actually catch Afri. I was worried that Anthony was actually just going to drive up to the back of me and overtake me, but you're going to see not quite the case as it turned out. But just trying to get the hang of these mediums. Anthony's would have been up to temperature a bit. These mediums, they are absolutely dog shite to start the stint. Like, they really are bad, and so getting these up to speed now isn't is the main concern. But he's less than a second behind me. Got some people in the pits. That's Tekeepa. He's had a wing change and he's had an absolutely horrible first stint. Comes very, very close. I have to actually open the steering up a little bit because I was afraid he was going to turn into me, but we do get the move done. We do move past him, and Anthony's actually going to get past Tekeepa as well. So you can imagine how I'm feeling in this situation. I've got two very quick drivers behind me thinking, shoot, how am I going to defend this? So it's going to be difficult. Up ahead, actually, you're going to see on the map, Tekken has had it off at turn 12. I think he's got up on the curb, and that basically is like, yep, okay, Tekken, I no longer have to worry about Tekken in this race. So because he's yet to make a pit stop, and he's lost obviously a lot of time now on that curb. So happy days for that. He's in the pits here, and I'm going to breeze by him, and that is me into P13. I think Tekeepa is going to get by Anthony at the end of the straight, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, not this lap. Next lap we have Extrema, and we have, I believe it's Raikimi in the pits, and I get by both of those. So I think, yes, mission accomplished. I got by Tekken, I got by Extrema, and now let's see what we can do for the rest of this race now. Go Wislik in front. Afrifish is just past him, I believe, or he came out the pits, not too sure. But Anthony's still keeping Tekeepa behind him, but won't be for long. As Desire, and I believe that is RW, yeah, RWT. He's in the pits as well, so we come out ahead of those guys as well. As Tekeepa now gets by Anthony, I'm thinking Tekeepa is rapid, and I'm thinking maybe it might be in my best interest not to hold him up too much and just run my race. And I know that realistically I should never, realistically Tekeepa shouldn't really be near me in the first place. So I made the decision I wasn't going to fight it too much. I used to bump the deployment down to medium, stick to the left hand side, and I don't fight this one at all. You have to pick and choose your battles, and this really wasn't one of them. With 15 or so laps to go, I wasn't keeping Tekeepa behind me, so I let him go and just try not to let Anthony go in the process. That managed to work, and you can see just kind of sticking with the slipstream and DRS of Tekeepa, just hoping that he would kind of take me along with him and take me towards Afrifrish in P7. I'm just going defensive a little bit now just to make sure Anthony doesn't get any ideas. I know Anthony isn't like that, but just want to cover my bases and make sure I'm just still defending from Anthony for P9 at the moment, and it looks like I've done a successful job in that at the moment, but it's going to get a lot more entertaining soon enough in terms of defending positions. Lap 16, Afrifrish has been overtaken by Tekeepa. You see Tekeepa's driving on a bit now, so I think I made the right decision to let him go. And this lap now was a good lap, and now for me I have to say I got a lot of time on Afrifish. Was about a second or so behind, but this lap in particular now, lap 16, really began to make inroads on them, and actually to the point where, oh yeah, could go for an overtake here. So stick it up with the overtake, have a bit of ERS to use. DRS, Afri sticks to the left hand side. Didn't really fight this one too much. I got to sling it down the inside, put back into high and standard, down the inside under braking. Try to leave him the space if he wants to stick his car up the inside there, but he doesn't, so I swoop in, claim that corner. That is P7 for me, but not for long. I see Afri gets a great run up the hill. He's going to go down the inside. I'm trying to hang around the outside. I have the racing line and the best line for this swooping section, and there you go. He backs out of it, and now that is me into P7. And now Tekeepa's ahead. Of course, we know Tekeepa's going to drive away from this point on, so for just this point, just trying to get a gap out to Afri, but I wasn't able to do that immediately. You can see the gap is 4/10, and he's coming quickly as Afri, so I move across to try and defend it, to try and send him one direction rather than down the inside. I've gone defensive. He tries to drive around the outside, but again, nothing doing. So just have to position your car as best as you can. Up the hill again, I've gone actually very defensive. Moved back across then, as close to the racing line as possible, as well as leaving the gap for Afri. Side by side racing. It's not a place the track you really want to be racing side by side, so I back out of it and try and swoop back. You see Afri runs wide. I'm going to try and drive around the outside. Try to switch back Anthony's there as well. I have to be careful, but Afri keeps that position. And that's Afri back up to P7. This is a great scrap between us two. And I have to try to stick with him and hope that I'm close enough again to make a move with DRS. There's two Ferraris behind us now as well, with RW and the gamer Paco, who went long on his mediums and now is on very, very quick softs. Lap 18 and on to lap 19 again. Grab into the slipstream and DRS of Afri and actually get the move done very early, so I move back across where I can afford to do that. And that's me back up into P7. You can see Takipa is well ahead, so that was a good decision to let him go. But I was very concerned in this part of the race because there's a lot of drivers behind me, and it was worrying times. But actually, lap 20, you see medium pilot's actually in the pits. So I'm not sure if that was a schedule stop. I know his car, I know he disconnected at some point during this race. And you see Gamer Paco now is up into 7th place. And Paco now, he's got 3 lap old softs. I'm on 6 or 12 odd so laps on these mediums. And so again, similar to Takipa, my fight isn't really with Paco today. So I actually wanted him to get by me here. You can see I put into lean mixture, low deployment. I want him to go by so I can actually get DRS down the back straight, and he didn't go for my inside there, so I left it. I'm still harvesting fuel, still harvesting energy, and down this straight now, the second last straight, I wanted him to get by me. But you can actually see on the stream, I actually bumped down to none, but actually he lifts off the throttle. I saw that on the stream. He lifts off the throttle because he knew what I was doing, and he wanted that DRS as well. Thinking, oh boy, didn't fall for it. The other problem is though, it brings his teammate RW right into play as well. So Paco is going to go by. Nothing I can do here. But as soon as Paco goes, I'm going defensive because I know RW was coming with a DRS as well, and he thinks about a move, but he backs out of it. And so Paco's gone. Nothing I can do about Paco. He was always going by on those softs, but RW was close to a move. He's got a few lap fresher tyres than I do, so he's got good pace as well, so it's going to be difficult to keep him behind, but he's the person I want to be fighting, not Paco. So that was the kind of decision making process there, and Paco will drive on as Takipa has, but RW now, the RW, so you can see that on the map, there's a lot of cars coming close to this part of the track. You got RW is Afri Frisch as well. I think Anthony's behind this as well. Rai Kimi, Extrema, all these guys are in this kind of cluster, so it's going to be difficult. But I've got DRS on Paco for the time being, so I'm going to just keep with that. RW very close there. I've gone placed my car in the middle of the track. I switch back to the racing line late, so I got the best exit, and that's going to keep me in this P7 for the moment. So you go over, you go back across onto the racing line, and it worked on that occasion. But I was thinking at this stage, I've defended that there, but surely down this second DRS straight, or the main straight rather, there's going to be little to no defence against RW. So, but I've got to do what I can. I'm low on fuel. I got a bit of ERS to play with, so look, go try my best, but ultimately, what can I do about this? There's nothing I can really do about it. RW's going to go there. Nothing I could do to stop that or fight back with it again. So I think he's gone on now, and it's Afri Frisch I have to be worried about now behind. And medium pilot, you might have just seen there, set the fastest lap, and thinking, shit, he's close to this battle now as well. So as Afri gets a really good run up the hill though, so I've lost 7th, I'm about to lose 8th now as well. Afri Frisch is down the inside, I'm on the racing line, leaving the space. He's come across a bit, I'm on the racing line, and I'm going to defend that very nicely there. But you see the cars behind Anthony's there as well, and you can see on the map, guys are getting closer, including medium pilot. Afri is kicking about, another move down the inside there, but defended that well. And that's PH there, and I was actually very happy at this stage of the race with that. Lap 23, I did my fastest lap of the race, so this really helped separate me from Afri. Was never really a concern after that. The gap was 1.2 seconds. I broke out of DRS range. I knew the main problem then would be medium pilot, and sure enough, medium pilot passed Afri, and lap 25 he's also behind me. And then again, similar to Gamer Paco, similar to Takipa, no point really fighting this. He's much quicker on much fresher tyres. So again, low deployment, standard mix, let him go without losing too much time to Afri behind. He's squabbling there. I think it's Bugatti actually, not Extrema. It's Bugatti that forced India back there. Lap 27 though, medium pilot disconnects again, and that will put me back up into P8. And I'm thinking, yeah, very happy days. Tyre wear was getting up there a bit, so that was concerning a little bit, but that was I wasn't really too concerned because I had the gap to Afri at the end and Bugatti, and that was that. So lap 29 now, final lap of the race. Some drama here to unfold. RL Leclerc, I believe, gets a puncture, and he's going to be passed by RWT, and then I'm going to pass him now as well for P7. See the tyre wear 80%. And there you go. Move by him now into P7. Like, yes, I'm thinking, please tyres, please hold on to this right-hander. I absolutely beg of you. Take it very cautiously. He's allowed Bugatti to catch up a little bit now, to be fair, but I had some gap to play with, to be fair, so it was controlled. I knew exactly what I was doing, knew exactly what I had to play with. You can see the laughter in the party. That was actually because poor old Kevin got a puncture on the last corner and the race win slipped away. But for me, I was just trying to concentrate. It was a P7, absolutely brilliant result from P12 on the grid. I'm very happy with it. There's a lot of action going on and managed to defend it all. Fought the battles I could. The only one that I wish I could have saved going by was RW, but look, he breached 5 seconds on me in the end, so ultimately I didn't have the pace to hang with it. But everyone else, Afri, I got by Tekken and Extrema, I got by Afri, I kept Afri behind, I kept Anthony behind, you know, Bugatti at late on, Raikimi, everyone I wanted to keep behind, I basically did, besides RW, but ultimately I didn't have the pace to do that in the end. So P7 from P12, very good result. Very entertaining race, I have to say as well. Really a great deal of satisfaction that I earned from that race. I really did. I thought I fought very well. But yeah, anyways, RL Hulkenberg won, or Lyronix, so well done to him. Unfortunately to Kevin in second, and then to keep managed to actually get third in the end, so he had a really good recovery drive in the end. So look at the gap though, like it's it's not a whole lot of time separating the field. So anyways, that's the Bahrain Grand Prix. I left it on the screen for a little bit. No penalties, no warnings, so happy days. That helped separate the field a bit as well. So you can see a lot of high rises in that race. Kevin from 10 gave a pack off from the back. RW, myself, Raikimi, like we all made places. Like a couple of guys lost a lot of places, but that's how it goes sometimes. You have to run your race, pick and choose your battles, and go from there basically. So very happy with that. That puts you on a solid 8 points for the season. My teammate wasn't able to make it out, unfortunately, so shame for him, shame for the constructors, but Mercedes run away with the constructors really at the moment, like another 1-3 finish there for the boys. And I'll get on well with those Mercedes boys, Lyronix and Takiba, so happy to see them do well in TWL. But that's going to do it now for round number 2 of Bahrain. Long video, but you can understand like there's a lot going on in this race as well, so I hope I did an okay job bringing it to you, and that's going to do it. Next up is China for TWL, so should be a very interesting race. Strategy will be play a big part there, so look forward to trying to execute on that, and until next time.
My finger, it's absolutely killing me.
Puncher on the last corner.